In 1926, 22-year-old doctoral understudy J. Robert Oppenheimer wrestles with uneasiness and yearning to go home while concentrating on under-trial physicist Peter Blackett at the Cavendish Research Facility in Cambridge. Oppenheimer, annoyed with the requesting Blackett, leaves him a harmed apple, yet later recovers it. Visiting researcher Niels Bohr suggests that Oppenheimer ought to rather concentrate on hypothetical physical science at Göttingen. He finishes his PhD there and meets Isidor Isaac Rabi. The two later meet hypothetical physicist Werner Heisenberg in Switzerland. Needing to extend quantum physical science research in the U.S., Oppenheimer starts educating at the College of California, Berkeley, and the California Establishment of Innovation. He meets his future spouse, Catherine Kitty Quenning, a scholar and ex-socialist, and has a discontinuous illicit relationship with Jean Tadlock, a pained individual from the Socialist Coalition USA who later ends it all. In December 1938, atomic parting is found, and Oppenheimer acknowledges making a bomb could be utilized. In 1942, in the midst of the Second Great War, U.S. Armed Force General Leslie Forrest initiates Oppenheimer to lead the Manhattan venture to foster a nuclear bomb. Oppenheimer, who is Jewish, is especially determined by the Nazis possibly finishing their atomic weapons program, headed by Heisenberg. He gathers a logical group remembering Edward Teller and Rabi for Los Alamos, New Mexico, and furthermore teams up with researchers Enrico Fermi and David L. Slope. Teller's estimations uncover the likelihood that a nuclear explosion could set off a chain response that touches off the environment and obliterates the world. Oppenheimer talks with Albert Einstein, who declines to be involved, and he reasons that the possibilities of calamity are low. At the point when Teller proposes the development of a nuclear bomb and is quickly dismissed, he endeavors to leave the undertaking, however, is held by Oppenheimer's influence. Upon Adolf Hitler's demise in 1945, some venture researchers question the bomb's significance, while Oppenheimer accepts it will rapidly end the continuous conflict in the Pacific and save partnered lives. The Trinity test is fruitful, and President Harry S. Truman arranges the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, compelling Japan's acquiescence. Oppenheimer, however commended by general society, is spooky by the mass annihilation and fatalities, and proposes limiting further atomic weapons advancement, which Truman briefly excuses. As a counsel to the U.S. Nuclear Energy Commission (AEC), Oppenheimer's position produces debate, while Teller's nuclear bomb gets re-established interest considering the prospering virus war. AEC Director Lewis Strauss comes to disdain Oppenheimer for freely embarrassing him while excusing his interests about sending out radioisotopes, and for suggesting discussions with the Soviet Associatio. And after they effectively explode their own bomb, he additionally accepts that Oppenheimer slandered him to Einstein in 1947 during their visit to the establishment for cutting-edge study. In 1954, to dispose of Oppenheimer's political impact, Strauss subtly coordinates a confidential hearing before a faculty security board concerning Oppenheimer's Q leeway. In any case, obviously the consultation has a foreordained result. Unique guidance. Rob brutally questions Oppenheimer, focuses on his past socialist ties, and adversely turns the declaration of Forrest's indifferent partners. Teller's declaration, where he maintains his absence of trust in Oppenheimer and suggests renouncement, demonstrates especially cursing. The board eventually casts a ballot 2-1 to deny Oppenheimer's freedom, harming his public picture and restricting his effect on atomic strategy. In 1959, during Strauss's Senate affirmation hearing for Secretary of Trade, Slope affirms about Strauss's own processes in designing Oppenheimer's destruction, and the Senate votes against his designation. In 1963, President Lyndon B. Johnson gives Oppenheimer the Enrico Fermi Grant as a token of political restoration. Teller endeavors to shake Kitty's hand during the function, however is dismissed because of his slandering declaration 9 years earlier. A flashback shows Oppenheimer's discussion with Einstein in 1947, uncovering that he had never referenced Strauss, however communicated his dismal conviction that he had to be sure begun a chain response that would obliterate the world.